Hi, this is Bill. So in this video, I'll be demonstrating and explaining about asset discovery and agent client collector in ServiceNow. So I would like to start on the top left. So this search navigator, application search navigator by ServiceNow, you can type in the module that you're looking for. And on this topic, we'll be searching for asset. And as you can see, as I have typed the named asset, it has came out all the keywords that contains the asset name inside their module. And as I scroll up, right, so what you will notice that the asset name is sitting in multiple modules. So that is one of the characteristics of ServiceNow is you can reuse the core tables in ServiceNow and customize them or configure them according to your use case. One of the key advantages here is like the asset table and the asset framework is already part of the platform. So meaning it is part of your core tables of ServiceNow. As I navigate to all assets, as I click that, it will take me the list of all assets recorded inside your ServiceNow platform. So ServiceNow already provides you the features and capabilities out of the box to manage all your assets. Can be an IT asset or a non-IT asset. So as you build your inventory of assets in a central place like ServiceNow, you will have full visibility and reporting, which is already provided by ServiceNow out of the box. Let us filter out this view to give you a better picture of some of the features of what ServiceNow can do. So I would like to start with the asset tags. So I would like to filter out all empty asset tags. So by just right clicking, I'm removing asset tags which are empty. You will notice on the second column, the model category. So it gives you a picture of all the different types of an IT asset. So easily to give you a picture, so I'm going to navigate to the context menu and we will be able to group them by model category. And as we group them, model category gives you all the different types out of the box which ServiceNow has provided. And as you can see that it already gives you also the quantity of each category. So it can be an AIX server, a rack, and so on. It gives you a more organized perspective of all assets which is discovered within your environment. So this can be coming from the Windows Intune. So we may be talking about endpoints, or you could be integrating with the likes of SolarWinds, to name a few of your monitoring tools that can also do a discovery and feed your configuration items inside ServiceNow. So we call that the CMDB 360, where you can utilize ITOM ServiceNow discovery to discover your CIs and assets and utilize your current investments to build a full picture of your assets or critical assets that you would like to monitor. So as you can see, this different columns, it already provides you a fair amount of information of your state of your asset. And let us drill down to one of these assets. So let's just go to one of the AIX servers. And as we come in, since we are talking about asset, it has a financial perspective that ServiceNow provides. So I would like to clarify the difference of an asset in a CI. The asset in ServiceNow has a financial perspective. As you can see on the right, the configuration item has a direct relationship where the configuration item contains the attributes or technical properties of a CI. And as we go back to this general tab, ServiceNow already provides you a full life cycle of an asset from ordering and up to disposal. So depending on your practice, ServiceNow can support your discipline from procurement until you retire an asset. So one of the strengths of the platform is its flexibility. Since ServiceNow has already provided the best practices, and as a platform, the workflows are configurable depending on how you practice your process. And as you can see that one of the important points I would like to highlight is the contract management. So in an asset perspective, you will have service agreements, contract agreements, end of life, end of service. So you can associate this directly to an asset. And in a single picture, you have the asset, the contract, the life cycle, and also the configuration item. And one of the things also I would like to highlight is the model category. So as you do a discovery in ServiceNow, it provides you the filters already as it feeds the different CIs or assets into your ServiceNow records or asset records, CI records. Automatically it categorizes to the correct model category. And ServiceNow behind the scenes already has the table allocated for the specific servers to sit on. And as I navigate to the left, I will type in server. And as I type in server under the configuration or CMDB module, you will see out of the box, the asset or CI will already be allocated to the correct table or records, giving you full control, and you can focus specific in managing your assets guided by the best practices and templates inside ServiceNow. I also would like to discuss the model. So the model gives you a picture on who is the manufacturer and the details about your asset. And as we drill down to the specific record, you will see that the asset is already associated to the correct model. And out of the box, ServiceNow has provided all this information, the model number, the description that will match respectively on the discovered asset from your environment. And as you can see, this model categories discussed earlier, depending on the server type has been discovered, you can associate it into multiple types if needed be, depending on your practice. And easily, as you can see, that since we are already associated to a manufacturer, it has a compatibles tab, the compatibility, meaning you will have a way to manage and record what is the most compatible technology to your specific server. And this can be a laptop, and that particular asset will have a compatible keyboard or mouse that it should be functioning effectively. And you can also record this down here, giving you assurance that the associated technology works seamlessly in respect to that specific asset CI. And as we expand, I will touch upon a little bit that you can also associate it to a vendor catalog item. And as mentioned earlier, ServiceNow supports the full life cycle of your asset process. And as you witness, I could easily navigate from one information to the other. And if you are using an Excel spreadsheet at the moment, which is hard to track and monitor, with ServiceNow easily, all the fields are already available for your utilization. And eventually right now, under this model, we have recorded that we have two CIs or two assets record inside this specific asset and manufacturer. And as we go back to the parent record, we can now navigate easily to the configuration item. And since ServiceNow allows you that direct relationship and record, now from an asset perspective, now we are moving down to the IT perspective, which is a configuration item. And you will see all the fields already out of the box available for you. And as we scroll down, the attributes of an AIX server is already been provided as well in this specific configuration item. And out of the box, ServiceNow also provides a relationship on what is installed inside the server and the different applications sitting inside the server. giving you a full picture of a dependency map located on this lower right of the form. So as we navigate, giving you a full picture of all the applications, softwares installed inside the server. And as I click to the details, you will see the tickets and any change request associated to that specific CI, giving you a 360-degree view of any disruptions or implementations happening in that specific asset. And if I move further, this is where common service data model will be discussed in a separate video. So let us stick on the asset and the CI relationship and the ACC or agent client collector on this demonstration. So as we go back to this previous tab, you can also create an asset manually by navigating and typing asset. And let's go to all assets, and you will see here this new button that you can basically manually create an asset, but it is not recommended since we prefer the automated way with integration to your environment, because there may be missing attributes that you have not populated, which is available already from the discovery framework. And let us drill down to one of the asset types that we would like to create on. And from here, you will see the model category. So we could basically do a search inside, and it could be a type computer or type hardware. And let us do that. And as we do a type hardware, then we could have like what is the model category that we'll be searching on. So we could do a search, or we could basically do a drill down, and eventually the record here is empty. So let us go back to something more general, which is computer. And inside the computer, let us use Apple iMac. And so let's go back to the general tab, and it's asking us for a serial number. So as you create this asset, as you can see, you can configure it on what fields that should be mandatory and what will be the state of the asset. And depending on your purpose, you can basically receiving an asset from a delivery, and this could be a state of in stock. And if you are using a stockroom principle, you can also place it to the correct stockroom as you do an audit, and it gives you the integrity of your data in ServiceNow is correct. So that is where the technology and the practice will basically synchronize, respectively, implementing your discipline. And right now, let us just put some random number to complete the creation of this new record. Now we could right click and save, and now we have created an asset record. So as you create your assets inside ServiceNow, depending of the amount of granularity that you need, let us show you the features of the model category. And as we drill down inside, you will see of type computer or type model category computer, and what are the associated product models in this model category. So as ServiceNow does its discovery, it will do a lookup on the type model category computer and this associated product models, allowing you to have full association of your type computer to the correct product models. And in every creation of asset, you can enforce CI verification, meaning if this is tick, then you have the choice not to create an asset in every CI which is discovered. So depending on the behavior that you're looking at, you can create both a CI and an asset inventory by just unticking this button. Now, let us move forward to agent client collector. So I'll give you a high level view what it is and what it can do. So I'm just going to navigate to the ServiceNow documentation of agent client collector. So in a nutshell, ACC or agent client collector is an agent installed inside your infrastructure. So on this image here, you will see that you will have 3 agents. So these are the agents installed inside your infrastructure, and it communicates to the mid server and passes the necessary data into the ServiceNow instance. So ServiceNow has been growing quite fast, and quite recently, a few years back, that it has procured another company who is doing monitoring as a service. And this tool that has been purchased by ServiceNow provides multiple capabilities like monitoring your infrastructure and your applications, and also provides the necessary attributes collected from your infrastructure being fed into ServiceNow. So the mid server acts as a middle layer that sits inside your environment or firewall. And the mid server now will communicate in behalf of the ServiceNow instance to receive and also send commands to those agents installed in your environment. So as you can see on the left, there are three types of agent client collector. So you will have the framework where it sits all the library of the agent client collector where the SDK sits on. And you have the monitoring feature that allows to monitor your infrastructure and the application. And finally, the visibility that gives you the ability to get more information or attributes in your infrastructure and application so that it passes data to ServiceNow records. You will have a full view of your environment so you can monitor depending on your purpose. And one of the use cases provided in our demo is reducing the amount of disruptions and allowing you to make decisions in any change, since you have a full picture of all the activities happening inside your environment. This is the end of our lesson about asset discovery and agent client collector. If you find this helpful, please buy me coffee and support my channel so I can create more videos relevant to your use cases. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow for more.